OMG, it just happened. A surprise trade between the Raiders has just been confirmed, and no one was expecting it. The name involved in this negotiation is much bigger than you might think. I got behind-the-scenes access and will now reveal the reasons for this controversial decision. But first, if you love the Raiders and want to know everything before everyone else, like and subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to tell me now will take you by surprise. The entire NFL is witnessing an earthquake, and the epicenter could be Las Vegas. Last Friday, news broke across the league. Micah Parsons, the Cowboys' all-star defensive tackle, did the unthinkable. He officially asked to be traded. The player who redefined the concept of defensive play in just 4 seasons now wants a fresh start. And the Raiders, with their eyes set on a title, are ready to take that leap. The question lingers. Can this trade actually happen? If it depends on the math, the context, and their hunger for victories, the answer is a resounding yes. The Cowboys, still hesitant to give Parsons the multi-million-dollar extension he deserves, are dealing with an increasingly uncomfortable situation. And if the Dallas front office chooses to nip this in the bud, the AFC will be the ideal destination, and no one in the conference is better positioned than the Raiders. With Pete Carroll leading the team, the fastest-paced team in the NFL, Las Vegas doesn't want to wait 3, 4, or 5 years to compete. It wants to win now. The 74-year-old coach, a champion with the Seahawks, is building a roster to be feared. Geno Smith has arrived. Ashton Jeanty was drafted in the first round. The defense has undergone a complete facelift, but one piece is missing: an elite cog, a name that changes everything. That name is Micah Parsons. Since arriving in the NFL, Parsons has been a statistical freak. 52.5 sacks, 112 QB hits, competitive pressures, and decisive plays. All this without even having been a full-time pass rusher before entering the league. He is the first player since Reggie White to record at least 12 sacks in each of his first 4 seasons. He's already a 3-time All-Pro, and he's only 26 years old. Imagine this chaos machine lined up alongside Max Crosby. It would be like unleashing 2 hungry predators on the opposing defense. A duo with the potential to immediately enter the conversation as one of the greatest in NFL history. No AFC quarterback sleeps peacefully. But don't be fooled. The price is high. The Raiders will likely have to give up at least 2 first-round picks, maybe more. But when you have cap space, over $77 million projected for 2026, potentially reaching $100 million, and a GM like John Spytek willing to take a chance, that's not an obstacle. It's an opportunity. And there's another important factor. The Cowboys would prefer to send Parsons out of the NFC. This further increases the Raiders' chances. They can afford it. They can entice him. And most importantly, they need him. NFL.com has even issued a warning. The Raiders have been named one of the 7 most likely teams to enter the fray. Few teams are better positioned to absorb Parsons' contract, wrote Eric Edholm. The combination of him and Crosby would be scary for quarterbacks in the AFC. Pete Carroll won the Super Bowl with a dominant defense, and he knows that repeating the formula in Vegas could be the key to making history. It's not just about adding talent. It's about changing the culture, commanding respect, and raising the franchise's ceiling to a level fans haven't seen before. Micah Parsons may not be available today, but if the phone rings, the Raiders need to answer it, and answer it firmly, because this wouldn't just be a signing, it would be a statement to the entire NFL. Now, while fans dream of this potential defensive revolution, a familiar figure from the Raiders' recent days has appeared, right at their biggest rival's training camp. And that, my friend, has ignited Raider Nation. Wednesday seemed like just another day of preparation for the Raiders' first preseason game, but what no one expected was to see the team's former head coach, Antonio Pierce, hanging out at the training camp of their biggest rival, the Kansas City Chiefs. The image of Pierce, wearing neutral gear, observing the practices of the division-dominating franchise, went down like a bombshell among the silver and black fans. Pierce, who was promoted to interim head coach in 2023 and finished a season with the fans' trust, ended up not being suspended for 2025. Despite the respect he earned in the locker room and the team's improved performance under his leadership, the front office opted to continue with a more experienced coaching staff led by Pete Carroll. His presence on the Chiefs' field can be explained by a curious detail. He has deep ties to Kansas City's defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo. The two worked together during their time with the New York Giants and even won a Super Bowl together against Tom Brady's New England Patriots, now a minority owner of the Raiders. Coincidence or provocation? So far, Pierce hasn't taken on any other role, and this girlfriend may just be a friendly visit. But when it comes to Raiders versus Chiefs, every move creates tension. His image on the opposing team's field has sparked discussions about loyalty and the future, and reinforces the rivalry that's about to heat up in 2025. While the Parsons saga heats up and Pierce's name resurfaces, the Raiders prepare for their first on-field battle, and Pete Carroll has already made it clear. He's going full throttle. No hiding the game. No holding back emotion. Pete Carroll wants intensity from the first second, and that was clear with the announcement that sent the entire Raider Nation into a frenzy. The starters will take the field in the preseason opener against the Seattle Seahawks. A decision that may seem bold to some, risky to others, but which actually reveals the mentality behind the new era in Las Vegas. Maximum competitiveness from the outset. And this game isn't just a technical test. It carries a huge emotional charge. Carroll, who now leads the Raiders, built one of the most legendary defenses in history in Seattle and led the Seahawks to their first Super Bowl victory. Now, he returns to the place where he became a legend, only now wearing black and silver. And what's more, he'll be debuting against his former franchise. It's as if fate had written this script. Everyone is live, everyone is ready to go, Carroll said after the final practice before the trip. And that's no exaggeration. Geno Smith, the newly arrived quarterback, and another familiar face to Seattle fans, is expected to lead the offense from the start. Rookie Ashton Jeanty, the Raiders' first draft pick and a former Boise State star, is also expected to make his long-awaited debut. Both carry a significant symbolic weight, and the game could mark the beginning of something big. It's not yet confirmed whether Max Crosby or rookie Brock Bowers will be among the starters. After all, Carroll must consider the risk of injury, but the message is clear. Whoever is healthy will play, and that includes several names who are in direct competition for positions, especially on defense. The coaching staff wants to see real intensity, without practice simulations. The night will also feature a special moment. According to Vegas Sports Today, the Seahawks plan to pay tribute to Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and Jamal Adams, all of whom have made significant contributions. But while there will be emotion and reverence, there will also be fierce competition. After all, Carroll wants the players to fight for their spots as if it were the regular season. And speaking of defense, the already delicate area has faced a new challenge: safety. Lonnie Johnson Jr. suffered a fractured fibula during practice and will be out indefinitely. The injury won't end the player's season, but the secondary's depth plan already needs adjustments. Johnson was emerging as a versatile player, even starting in several defensive packages. Still, there's hope. Carroll believes the defender could return during the season, and to cover for his absence, the Raiders are already exploring alternatives. Thomas Harper and Christopher Smith have taken over the role in practice. Harper, an undrafted free agent who has been scouted since his arrival. What's more, Terrell Edmonds, a former Steelers player with recent stints with the Eagles, Titans, and Jaguars, was in Vegas for a workout with the coaching staff. With so many adjustments and so much competition on the field, the Raiders' preseason promises to be a true battleground. It won't just be a parade of players, it will be a tactical laboratory with real implications for the 53-man roster that will be assembled. What's more, with the buzz surrounding Micah Parsons gaining momentum behind the scenes and the starters hitting the field with everything they've got, the franchise's message is clear. This isn't a time just being prepared for. This is a time I want to win now. The preseason doesn't usually attract large audiences, but for the Raiders, this first game is the beginning of something much bigger. A new cycle, a new philosophy, and perhaps a new, most feared defensive identity in the NFL. How do the Raiders intend to become an unbeatable power in the AFC with the potential arrival of Micah Parsons, while leaving the past behind with Antonio Pierce's surprising advantage with the Chiefs and putting all their starters on the field in the first preseason game? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. But later, I will come back to update you with the latest news from the Raiders.